So yeah, so just to wrap it up here with a recap of TIBCO now, a preview of the analytics forum, and the Spotfire 11 announcement. So Spotfire 11 came out yesterday. We're pretty excited about it. Catalina just alluded to it a little bit. The big feature is the ability to create mods on Spotfire visuals. You know, mods is we took that name. It's a video gaming name. When someone plays a video game, you can make your own modification of the game, changing some of the user experience and configurations and so on. And that's what we've done in Spotfire 11. We've allowed you with any sort of JavaScript to create your own visual and to wire that up pretty simply to the Spotfire controls, the filters, you know, markings and all of that. So we'll send these slides out, but you can see what's going on with Spotfire 11, what's new in Spotfire, the community site. We've also, in addition to Spotfire mods, there's the data functions have become easier to use, especially by business users. And we've created a companion page for Spotfire 11 that has assembled some of our Python and R data functions. This site is going to be rapidly updated in the coming months. We've got a number of things going through legal department to get onto this site. But yeah, basically whatever your JavaScript visual environment of choice might be, you can write your code for a visual and then wire it up to Spotfire to get native functionality, leveraging the inbuilt capabilities, marking, filtering, trellising. The visuals can run in memory, in database with data streams. You can also use it to white label Spotfire. And so Catalina alluded to some of the work we're doing with well-logged visuals, work in progress, but this will go nicely with the OSDU project that Catalina is leading here. So any folks who have input into these, we've been getting a bunch of different input from energy sector customers on how these sorts of visuals might want to be expressed, and we're open for inputs there for sure. As a quick video to show you how it works, this is someone on the data science team created a network visualization using mods, and this is actually visualizing the important variables from a set of machine learning models on F1 data, different models for different sectors of different tracks. I think there's 4 tracks and 3 sectors per track, and you can see now as you highlight down into, say, sector 1, you can see the variables that are affecting lap time or car speed, things like fuel in tank, energy, or motor temperature, things like that. If you just click into, say, the Melbourne with sector 1, 2, and 3, you can see engine temperature, lap distance, some of the important variables. But notice how all of the filtering schemes, drop downs, sliders, checkbox filters, point and click onto different visuals to drill down. All of that is just wired into the JavaScript that you create. So the world's your oyster there in terms of these sorts of visuals that you might want to create in Spotfire 11 using native functionality. Now I didn't run these videos earlier, but just to kind of clarify there with what you saw from VibeHav is you can call a pre-trained model here, like for sentiment analysis or translation. This is an analysis in Spotfire of Airbnb reviews, and you can see the sentiment score that comes back. We're actually analyzing both AWS and Azure sentiment pre-trained models here. Here's a review in Spanish. So in this case, you can go call the Microsoft translation service to translate that and then run it through the sentiment pre-trained model. So this idea of having Spotfire as the visual front end to both Spotfire and TIBCO data science functionality, but also into the cognitive services pre-trained models that VibeHav showed, and also be able to use Azure AI to build your own models or go out to, say, Python NLTK that you can build models in. It just becomes this set of building blocks between open source, TIBCO, Microsoft, all fronted by Spotfire and running on Azure. And as I mentioned, you can even do things like deep sort algorithms for if you've got GPUs available for tracking moving objects and determining their speed, and even with occlusion, being able to manage that sort of process. And we've been running these on AWS and Azure with GPU backend. Now, I wanted to also just mention, Spotfire and Power BI are widely used, and we've made them interoperable. So, there's some things that are easy to do in Power BI and some things that are easy to do in Spotfire. And so, I think being able to use these in an interoperable way is something that we've been working on. So, analysts often have easy access to Power BI as part of a Microsoft corporate deal or whatever. And so being able to transition from Power BI analysis into Spotfire and vice versa, is a useful thing. So what we've done is, with our TIBCO data virtualization project, we've created a solution where you can point to your Power BI file and you can grab the SQL out of the PBIX file, and you can instantiate that on TIBCO data virtualization, and then just basically push that into a Spotfire analysis. So folks who have TIBCO data virtualization, can do this. If you have the Spotfire Advanced Data Services, where our data virtualization product is trapped to Spotfire, this is probably not possible. The TIBCO data virtualization is the back end of what provides interoperability between Power BI and Spotfire, and any other tool, actually, whether you've got Tableau or whatever else. You can basically take the meta layer queries that the different BI products provide and instantiate that meta layer into DB, and then push your analysis into Spotfire. So different products and complementary products. Power BI is at the BI end of the BI and analytics spectrum, and Spotfire is at the analytics end of the BI and analytics spectrum. So this is our approach to continue the deep collaboration with Microsoft and provide that sort of interoperability. So some pretty interesting things in Spotfire 11. Now, I'll show you some websites of those in a moment, but just to wrap up on TIBCO Now, we had a big conference last month, TIBCO Now, incredible set of keynotes, just unbelievably moving. All kinds of people, industry leaders, the CIO of FedEx, the head of the Mercedes F1 team, CEO of that, and lots of stuff on product and training, a lot of demonstrations of our software. And we created this page here that we'll send around with a link, where we've gotten all of the demo content for Spotfire and TIBCO Data Science that's relevant to the energy sector, and we've assembled it all in this one place to allow you to easily browse through those relevant sessions from TIBCO Now. And I'm just super excited now to announce TIBCO Analytics Forum 2021. I know some of you probably came to the 2019 October, I think, or November 2019 was the last one we had. Really a lot of great sessions, I think 18 customer sessions, really super content, on this one. And in fact, just to show you a little bit about that conference, this is the website for it. We had some good keynotes there. Johan Krebs was on stage with us talking about OSDU, and we had, a bunch of folks up there, ConocoPhillips and Amazon and Schlumberger and Hess and OneOak, and just a bunch of really engaging content, Occidental Petroleum, IHS, and so on. And so this year, we've got, we're just starting the announcement of it, and we're going to be doing a call for papers pretty soon. But it's a pretty popular conference to present at. So if you're interested in presenting, please drop us a note, Catalina or myself, and we're starting to arrange the schedule. So it's the last week of May, and we'd love for you all to be there. So I guess while I'm in the browser here, these are some of the links that I provided in the presentation about what's new in Spotfire 11, introducing Spotfire mods, the data function user experience upgrade. There's a community site for this that goes into more detail about what you can do in mods and Spotfire 11. We put out a companion page for data functions to run in Spotfire for doing things like geoanalytics and machine learning and data prep and so on. So you can go check that out and use those in the Spotfire 11 distribution. There was a question during the presentation, I think it was BiPAP's presentation, about how to embed this into web applications. So this is our JavaScript API that I was just browsing around here. And yeah, I think to do a deeper dive on anomaly detection, one thing I wanted to clarify from Vipav's presentation is we did use a simple Microsoft containerized service for univariate time series type anomaly detection. But as pointed out in the questions, when we wanted to get into what were the key driving factors, for the anomalies to being identified, we used a TIBCO, random forest, a multivariate anomaly detection routine to pull that out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today. It was our second in our series of cloud web session, meetup sessions. I think Catalina, we have a website that you're working on for this, right? I'm not sure if I can Google that up, but
that is correct, Michael. So for everybody, I am posting it on the chat, and by the end of the day, you should have access to all the recordings of these presentations, and it's also available at the community. You have the link available at the chat window.
Oh, perfect, Catalina. There it is. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so we did one with AWS, last time, and then this is the one from today. So you'll be able to go here. We'll send around the links to get the presentations and so on. And the one that we did with AWS, was back in
September 16.
September, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we this one right here, right? So so yeah, this was the one we did with AWS, and you'll have a similar format for what you saw today for the Azure piece. But yeah, I think in summary, obviously the cloud is hugely important to us, and being able to provide you with a, coherent is the word that Gartner likes to use, coherent experience in working with Azure and Azure ML and Power BI and Spotfire and TIBCO Data Science, to have a coherent experience between those, products like I was describing here. That's certainly one of our goals. And just to put a Spotfire face on all of these items to give you a highly visual experience for interacting with different components from the Azure stack and from the TIBCO stack with this, the great Spotfire, interactive brush length experience that the product was built for, spot the fire in the data and do visual analytics. It's a really nice companion to the basic BI capabilities of Power BI to be able to then go that extra step and get into the more visual analytics side of the house there. So yeah, I think that's probably it for me. I think our community blog is one area that you can go read about what we're doing with OSDU and Python data functions and so on. This is our community.tibco.com/blog. This is an outlet for a lot of the work that we do on the TIBCO data science team. There's some partner blogs up there as well. So definitely want to point you to that and wrap it up. Catalina, are there any other questions have come in? Or do you want to wrap up any other thoughts or comments, Catalina?
I have replied on the chat for a couple of clarifications, added a couple of links. I think the most important thing is that you will have access to all the recording here, and if there is any follow-up, any additional question, more than happy to help you. If you want to get engaged into the OSDU testing group as well, or if you have any additional OSDU questions and so on, more than happy to help. I mean, in general, let us know how we can help you.
Awesome. And I think, Catalina, we're going to try and do another one of these. I think we're on a every 2-month kind of schedule. We did the AWS one in September, and this is now we're in November. So we'll probably be scheduled for another one of these in January,
January,
right?
yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And then, that we're just super excited about that May TIBCO Analytics
Forum. Yes.
And Catalina and I are working very hard on trying to get the agenda together for that and invite all the right people. So yeah, don't hesitate to contact us if you're interested in the Analytics Forum. We had, I think, more than 1,000 people there in 2019, and it was really a fun event. So I'll wrap it up here. I don't know, Kadri, anyone else have any final closing remarks? Kadri, great to have you on the call today.
He had to go, but he was very thankful to be part of it as well.
Very good. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap it up, Catalina, right?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, cheers. Bye-bye.